Mm. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say, this is a lovely morning in which the Most High God has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I shall and I will rest therein. I shall and I will rest therein. You know what? This is going to be a lovely, beautiful spirit and truth. Food for the spirit message. And it's the power of this message is good for me. Okay. If it's not good for no one else, it's good for me. Bring confirmation, clarification, and identification. Me, who Yah is in me, greater. Um, I want to talk about the remnant, and I want to also give you this lesson to really give you an opportunity to really measure really who you are. And this message, whether you measure who you are or not, it's going to tell you really who you are. And it's also going to allow you to be able to identify with what you have taken in and what you have within you. Okay? It's to measure yourself and where you stand. So the title of this message is You Are Not the Remnant. You are not the remnant. I'm sure Israel would have hoped and desired to know that they were not the remnant that would enter into the promised land. They were the desired remnant, but Yah had his own in them that he was going to take over. Don't think that he didn't know it. You all, to me, are so messed up from the floor when you think that this creator with all power is not who he said that he is. When you all don't even understand the power of I am that I am. The more I think about the word, just the way it says I am that I am. To me, it carries all of who he is wrapped into one. I am who I say that I am. I am who I want to be. I am who I should be. I am who I used to be. I am who I'm going to be. Stand down, clowns. He is. I am that I am. I am all power, Deborah. I am all authority. I am all righteous. I am all just. I am all greatness. I am all excellent. I am all perfect. You see, he is who he say that he is. And because you ain't who you think you are, it's not gonna make him not who he say he is. He's still gonna be the I am that I am. So you can everybody can go around this here world clowning and acting a fool all you want. It ain't gonna change that he is who he say he is. He is the I am. And he can be whatever he chooses and chose to be. Now you can go on and clown like you've been doing. That's who you are. We are in such a critical time in living. And at this time, we should be recognizing the one that is the I am. Instead, we're clowning with one another, thinking, oh, we hurt somebody so much. And I know this here without a doubt. And it should be so much feelings, so much emotions, so caught up in it. I mean, flesh. But they don't even understand. He said, he that is flesh is a flesh. Go play your emotions and your feelings into the realm of flesh. But he that is spirit is spirit. Stand down. Get out of the platform of those who speak spirit, who are born of the spirit. Stand down. Get on and be the clowns that you need to be. I've said that more than once on this page. I am not for your feelings nor your emotions. I am food for the spirit. And if Sister Deborah ain't saying something that caused your flesh to stand down, then she ain't who she says she is. You didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that, did you? You did not know that. Why did you think Yeshua kept saying, y'all gonna be offended? Y'all gonna be offended. His own 12. Because she's supposed to be offended. But you're supposed to take that being offended as something positive within. How can I spread this within me and learn from being offended is not the answer? Because it ain't going to stop y'all's will. It ain't going to stop y'all's way. And it definitely ain't going to stop the calling that's on my life. It's not going to stop. But I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a new thing. Watch this bad girl. I'm going to do a new thing. Because y'all been dealing with me. And I'm like saying, I really embraced the things that he said. Let me tell y'all what he did last night. He was not, no, it wasn't last night. It had to been the early morning, 2 or 3 and 4 or 5, somewhere in there in the morning. I didn't even look at the time. All I know is that I was wrestling. And I felt like I was in something where he was telling me a lot of things and I was just so overwhelmed to where I was, woo, woo, all over the place. The moment, you guys, I woke up, it was like he said, bam, took it all away, but left something. The only thing I can remember, I knew it was like I was wrestling in something, like I was so excited. But one thing I remember, meet Deborah. Meat. Meat, Deborah, is not meat. And I said, meat is not meat. Then I went on back to sleep. But I can wake up this morning and I can share with you what he said to me about meat is not meat. And then I'll tell you what I did. When he said meat is not meat, I was thinking about what I was doing in the dream, trying to get all what I was getting. And I was like, what happened to everything else? There was a lot of stuff being said. Meat ain't meat. And I went on back to sleep. So I come to you today to say this. When he has to come to me in the early morning, midnight hour, or whatever the time period is, but it's not so much as the hour, the minute, the second. It's what he's choosing and have chosen to come to me in my sleep. People don't even understand when the Father visits you in your sleep. And he chose the midnight hour, the early morning, when he knows you in the deepest of the deep, where your flesh is totally down. And he speaks unto you. It's because now I can speak to the spirit of who you are. And when you awaken, it will take its toll in the time period in which I have set. So he's like, you know how you go to a computer and you put stuff, information in? That's what he's doing. He know what he doing. He know how he doing. You all just don't know who he is, who he was, and who he's going to be. And I'm going to break that down too. But the title of this message, you are not the remnant. You are not the remnant. You can be the remnant of wicked and evil. You can be the remnant that's going to die by the sword. You can be the remnant of Satan. But baby, the remnant of the Most High God. Sister Deborah, a prophetess in the wilderness, come to tell you, you are not the remnant. And I'm speaking for every prophet from the beginning to the end. I'm speaking on behalf of every servant of the Most High God as a prophet. You are not the remnant of the Most High God. Now, in that midnight hour, early morning, he's telling me meat ain't meat. And I'm like saying, meat ain't meat. And it's sad. No, this ain't even sad. But one thing about it, I kind of almost felt like I knew what he was saying. Meat ain't meat. But yet, no, he said meat ain't meat, Deborah. My father pulled up with 2 words. Meat and meat. I do understand in the spirit realm we have meat, but it's not considered the meat that we eat for the flesh. It is meat for the spirit. It is food for the spirit. It's different than the meat that we take onto our bodies. One might say, Deborah, he was trying to tell you you need to eliminate meat in your life. No, Father, don't rumble like that. This sister can tell you. I've been dealing with him since I was 4 years old. I ain't ashamed of the gospel. I ain't ashamed of how long he been dealing with me, teaching me, hitting me in dreams and visions, giving me gifts that he poured out. You can't tell me nothing. No, you can't. And no, you ain't. So what he meaning about the meat is that's all he gave me. What happened to all that other stuff he was giving me? I don't know. He shut it down. But he left me meat, a meat, Deborah. He wants me to understand, to stick with the protocol, stick with what he has instilled in me all these years. The twos. Two meats. One meat is for the spirit, and one meat is for the flesh. So don't get them confused, Deborah. Don't put them together, Deborah. Don't let them unite, Deborah. Keep spirit on spirit and flesh on flesh. Both meats can't deal with each other. Both meats can't abide with each other. You either born of the spirit or you're born of the flesh. And if you're born of the flesh, you have no meat of the spirit. Praise the mighty God. Understand. When a creator can come to you early morning, midnight hour, you know it was a time that it was out of your order. And leave, you know he was telling you a whole bunch of things. I felt that thing down. I was all over the place, excited, and trying to grab it. Woke up, didn't have none of it. But he left with me only that meat is not meat. So I come to say to you all, the remnant is not the remnant. Because there is a meat for the spirit. And there is a meat for the flesh. That's why Genesis was so important that you grip in the spirit realm, because it shows you where the world and how the flesh has turned everything off course. See, they took on it to be in the garden as something for the flesh that you take in. They created in every Catholic church, every Christian church. Everybody takes it as food, something for the flesh. That's what everybody was taking. They did not understand. This starts off the mission for the spirit, not the mission for the flesh. Why? Because the flesh, when he created and formed Adam, he was already predestined to return back to the earth. Praise the mighty God. So the identity of who he really wasn't that what he was in the flesh. It was who he was in the spirit. When he come up on the two trees, it wasn't about her. It was about the one he charged. He wasn't listen, you guys. Oh, Father, you finna take me all the way there. I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm about to be in trouble. Okay. In the garden, 99.10 billion believes in the garden is really something that you take on in your flesh. But they didn't understand the flesh was already predestined back to the ground. So this thing in the garden didn't have nothing to do with the flesh, you all. But you didn't know that. Because you never realized when he breathed in him, he gave him his own spirit. Yes, Adam had his own spirit that was an image like unto the Father. The Father is a spirit, so he gave Adam his own spirit. So we was coming up against the garden in the spirit. They did not understand that Adam created perfect? Yes. But Adam was created with a spirit to make a righteous choice or an unrighteous choice in the spirit of who he was. So it had nothing to do with what you eat. What you take in. That the fact that there was other trees there, that the fact that there was a tree of life and a tree of knowledge of good and evil, both trees were spiritual. Taking in who you are in the spirit, not in the flesh. Stand down, clowns that have been training these people that they are the remnant. The remnant is those who are of the tree of life and the tree of life only. The opposite of those that is of the tree of knowledge and good and evil is damnation, the lake of hell. Which tree are you, or do you know? So many voices in the land has told you, oh, it's this. You done heard the mass. I'm going 99.9 of those who've been on the earth and live in the earth have told these people of the tree in the garden. They had no idea. Yes, Adam was born perfect. Yes, he was without sin. That's the form of the nakedness he was. But also, he was set in the midst of two sides. Go for it. His spirit went to where he was already predestined. It had no irrelevance to her. Man has taught y'all these things in the unrighteous will of the Father. And the Father said, but Deborah, I got a permissive will. I let him go where the flow. What do you mean by that, Father? What you mean you let him go where the flow? Okay, did you see me change or tell Adam, no, Adam, don't go that route. Don't go over there to that tree. Did I warn Adam after I have already laid the commandment and the law down in him, Deborah? I put that in him. I put it in him, Deborah. Before I put him in the garden, I put that thing in him. But did it stop him from going where I told him not to go? It's easier for it to be said and to be interpreted as a female did it. That's how men have gotten away with everything they have gotten away with. But they don't understand. My remnant is not of them. They don't understand. Just like they don't understand what was in the garden. It wasn't that nobody saw something, lust after something, desire something, want something. It was the idea that man had already taken in his thought the tree of knowledge and good and evil. See, they thought it was about food because they can blame it on woman taking it first. But he said, no, Deborah, no, Deborah. Why it wasn't given to her? Something can't be given to something that ain't created, Deborah. Come on now, baby. You know that. I know that. You know that I do know that. And that's why I know that you are not a remnant of the Most High, y'all. No one even have the respect that this creator, that's all that and some. He is the I am, the I is, I am gonna be, I was, and who I'm going to be. He's the I am of anything and all things. He's the I am of the greatness. He's the I am of perfect. He's the I am of excellent. He's the I am of wonderful. He's the I am of all things. He's the I am of all power. He's the I am of all authority. He's the I am that sits on the throne. He is the I am. While we down here being the clowns, and we are the I am. We belong to the I am. And on top of it, we are the remnant. No, you're not, baby. You are not the remnant. And Sister Deborah is going to speak it with great power. Okay? So he had to take me that route because that's who he is. That's how he rumbled. This message is not for you all who comes here to be nosy, to come here to try to manipulate the platform in a way that you think somebody is here to create for your emotions and your feelings. You are born of the flesh. Let me say that again. You are born of the flesh. You are of the flesh. So scoot your butt on over there to them other platforms. Because from now on, I'm not coming live. And if I choose to come live, any and everybody that I have felt in my spirit that is not born of the spirit, I'm going to boot you off when I do come on live. Don't send me no messages. Don't send me no word, because I'm going to tell you something that you didn't know. I need my mama on here to tell you. This sister can discern who you are. And that's why many runs. They like this serpent that snap, come in and sit and see if they're going to get away with fellowshipping. And then after someone, after they don't set still, they swirl out. Then they come back. Then they come back and try to sit amongst. You can sit amongst all you want. You can sit all you want. I know who you are, even though I haven't called you out. But I will advise you to don't come to my page. I don't care how long you've been joining, Sister Deborah, how long you've been embedded, and how you've been. Don't come to this page the day that I boot your tail out, because I'm going to call it what it is. Like I'm finna preach this message for what it is. You are not the remnant of the Most High God. And yes, I, Sister Deborah, don't need you to tell me who I am. I have been given that authority by the Most High Yah to teach what I'm about to teach. You are not the remnant. And I'm going to show others how being among he that is a part of the remnant, you get to escape with the remnant. And Sister Deborah going to break that down so you can take it with you. Sister Deborah is not here for Etiquette Baker, man. I'm not here for a clown show. I don't sell the tickets to a clown show. You see what I'm saying? But what is amazing is when, this is what gets me, is when you can get people on here and we are in the live chat, and then you can hear people say something and you be wondering, wait a minute, they haven't been with me long, but they already spotted? How is it they can spot something? How is that? How is it they can say certain things? And I be like, but Father, that person ain't been on here long. How are they saying? It's because they can see what's going on. When a lot of you all think that you just been on here for years and conniving, and that's how your whole household is. That's how your whole family is. Got a lot of chaos within it. Nobody don't know if they going or coming. There's nothing manifested in your house. He said, in the house, there should be 2 against 3 and 3 against 2. But there also can be all of them in the household. But I, myself, would say he would have one, at least, to give that house some light. Even if it's a pin needle light. But it's not the one that the family members thinks that's holy than thou, all godly and all spiritual. No, that's not the one. That's not the one. It's the one that everybody keeps saying. It's the black sheep, the dark one, and this and this and this. Yes, a lot of things attacking them. You know why? Because they are the light. And they trying to put out the pin needle light that's among them. But don't ever think the one that's in the house is the quiet one, the quiet spoken one, the one that plays the role. That's not the one. That's not the one. Me, myself, he visited me last night and gave me that meat is not meat. It's a part of what I was doing yesterday in tears. I was saying to him, how could you have created and allowed the creation to be manifest with so much wicked and evil? See, y'all know when I come before him, I'm coming hardcore like I come to you all. You all will think that I'm coming, I'm just like this here. No, baby. He gives me a lane to run in. And if that lane that I run in is also the wilderness and where I'm taught, Sister Girl be raising her hand, talking and saying all kind of things. That's why I cannot deny who he is. He has taught me, even in my stupidity. He has never left me nor forsaken me. I ask something, he pull up with the answer. Never too late, always on time. Yesterday, I was rumbling with the Father. So I know all and like I felt like I was in a good feeling. Then all of a sudden, bam, I turned and I woke up and I said, he said, meat is not meat. I said, meat is not meat. What do you mean? What is it? The remnant is not the remnant. You are not the remnant. So every word I'm going to say is going to touch, it's going to test who you are. So you will know who you really are. So when he's giving me this, I realized that, okay, the meat is not the meat. Do y'all know that that's comfort to me? That's assurance that my thoughts, my words, my eyesight, my ears is strictly spiritual. Because I asked him the question throughout yesterday as I continue to do everything. I was trying to identify who's who and what's what as far as all of this chaos he created. And this is what he said. Meat is not meat, Deborah. So I come to tell you, you are not the remnant. Meat is not meat. There are those who feed their flesh and call it spiritual. And those that feeds the spirit meat of the spirit. While those over here feed you meat of your flesh. That's why your emotions and your feelings get caught up in. That's why you can't support nobody that comes to bring you meat of the spirit. Because you so much wicked and evil is in you and you're wrong. You got a hardened heart and the wrong mindset. Not even understanding. You probably think your backpack is full, but y'all come to tell you through his prophet, your backpack is empty, as empty can be. Because in your mind, you wearing this mess like meat of the flesh. And this is meat of the spirit. I give you the best opportunity in a lifetime to get off of Sister Deborah's page. It's time to rumble. Strictly rumbling in the spirit. Boldness is going to step out. And it's never going to cease again. It's over. It's no time to play with people. It's no time to deal with people. Let them deal with what they deal with. Since the world is what they deal with and they live with and they embrace and they think it's all about them, let them deal over in that area. Only thing you're trying to do is take them to my hem of my garment so they can grip my garment, Deborah, so they can be made whole. And if they can't see that, let them boot their tails on out to the ocean where they be in. Okay? So you are not the remnant. All right? Me ain't me. Father had to pull up in the tubes on me. Woo, Father, y'all. Me ain't me. That's true. Don't get bit. Because what you see, Deborah, in this world, this wicked and this evil, and you get confused and confounded because you feel that this is my creation and my will and my doing. But let me tell you, Deborah, when I created, I didn't create me to be me. So stand down and know, Deborah, meat ain't meat. So when you think that they're righteous, they got the light, they got spirit and truth, don't get them confused, Deborah. Use the gift I gave you. Use what I have invested in you. Use what I have taught you in the wilderness. Use those gifts of discernment. Try them spirits by the spirit. You don't have to be in the midst of their faces. Use those gifts that I have instilled in you so you will know who's who and what's what. Because it is so much going on in this land, in the land of the world. And people are taking on all the meat of the flesh. Satan feeds you meat of the flesh. God's feeds you meat of the spirit. Now, then we're going to get into that. And this measure you also that you are not the remnant of the Most High, y'all. Now, we're finna eat that up. Now, let's go. Oh, this is something he said to me when I sat here this morning. He said, know this, Deborah. No matter where they are at today, heaven holds who they're going to be and where they're going to be tomorrow in eternity. Thank you, Father, Yah. No matter what he's saying. Now, this is what he said. Now, this is what he said when I sat here. He said, no matter where they are today, what he said, you hooped and hollered all yesterday talking about all the chaos in the land and all the wicked and evil. I come to you to say to you, no matter what you see there today, Deborah, know this for assurance. Heaven holds their tomorrow in eternal. So they might be one way for 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years on the earth, Deborah. But Deborah, I that I am, and all that I am, holds the key to the eternal tomorrow. Be aware of that. So when Sister Deborah, hooping and hollering all day yesterday, trying to understand why would you allow this? Because I have the beginning to the end. You only see the beginning, baby. Wait a minute. You have to understand I hold the end to eternal. So no matter what you see in the beginning, you don't know my end. You see, that's what he's saying to me. So when I'm sitting down here, this is what he's saying. Let me get some tissue here. This is what he said. Let me tell you what I did, y'all. My baby son bought me some oils, all type of different fragrance, and they smell so good. And it's made with shea butter for Mother's Day. And a little gift box, and you can tell that someone. I remember seeing that about 6 or 7 years in the mall, where this lady, she would make these little jars of what you call it, all different shea butter oils, and they do smell it so good. So my son, he bought me one, and he gave it to me for Mother's Day. And honestly, y'all, I'm gonna tell you something. Having the gift to discern is so awesome. But it's not an awesome where you get the glory in the flesh. It's the awesome of giving Yah all the glory and the honor. Because I walked in that bathroom, and before I sat down, I walked in that bathroom and I put some of that oil on my hand. I said, I'm gonna see. Oh, I said, it smells so good. I said, but I don't like the shine in it. That shea butter gives you too much of a shine. Tribal Judah don't understand. Melanated people don't understand. I have invested a oil in our bodies, in our skin. And a lot of times we think in our head need all this oil that the white man and that the heathens and that Iran and China has made for us. Oh, we need all this moisturized. We need all this here. Use a food, use a food. You're going to live a food and die food. End of that. But the oil, the shea butter, I said when I went over to the bathroom, I had got it stacked up on the thing. I said, oh, let me smell this one. Oh, it smells so good. Let me put a little of that, and I put it on there, and I rub it. I said, oh, I don't like the shine. I don't like all that oil and all that shine, all that grease up stuff. And we have a skin color that don't require all of that. Well, that's why the sun is blessing us, and we too ignorant to get it. We don't need all of that. We don't need everything they tell us we need because they made it for us to be stupid. And we want to live in stupidity. Believing, oh, my hair needs to be moisturized. I need oil in my baby. Let me tell you, this sister be lucky. And honestly, I might do it once a year. Put oil in her head. I really, maybe you all, I went years without putting any oil in my head. I don't believe in all that trash y'all believe in. These the Chinese, these Arabians, and all of them come make and build these beauty supplies, and y'all go run and get it. Every chemical there is telling you it's for your Negro hair, and you so stupid they ain't never done nothing to be right for you. But they build up all these stores, and you all go running to get in it. Sister Deborah would braid her hair, okay? Braid her hair, and I would put what is it called? Uh, not crop, crochet. Why? Because I done took care of my natural hair, and I would put this here hair into my natural hair. Let me explain something to y'all. Let me start with this oil, and then I'm gonna go to the other one there too. Let me explain something. So this oil that my son bought, I'm gonna get back to that hair. This oil that my son bought, I put it on, and before I put it on, first thing I said, I really don't want to use it because I don't like that shea butter, and that's what this is. And it give me too much shine. I don't want all that, but it smells good. So I put a dab, y'all, on my hand, and I wrapped it on, and I got ready to do my lessons here. You know, I got all my lessons ready, and I got like 4 or 5 cards here, and I'm like, okay, oh, it smells really good. Then that bad boy within a few seconds start tingling, burning, itching. And I'm like, every place I touch. Did you all know I had to go in there? And the spirit spoke to me just as plain as day. Deborah, you knew that. You knew that. You said it before you even put it on you. See, that's what bothers me. I make the wrong choices, even when the spirit is greater in me is already wanting me to use the gift that's already invested in me. You already said it, you don't like it. You already said that you got to watch. Guess what? From the time I put it on and said, "Oh, this smell good," I sat here in the spirit of the Most High. Said, "Deborah, don't ever get anything and be using it that has to do with oils, fragrance, or anything." He said, "Too much witchcraft, Satanism is among a lot of stuff people are making." And instant, there you go, itching all over the place. Only the places that I touch. You know how I put the oil on my hand and I did like this here, and I did like this here. Do you know I went in there and washed all that stuff off? But right here where I touched, it was still tingling. Right here where I touched, it was still tingling. So I had to go back into the bathroom, make sure I get that stuff off. And the spirit spoke to me and told me, why didn't you just take the first instinct, what you said? And I sit back and I said, this is what my baby son bought me, and I'm going to toss it in the trash. And I'm also explain to him in the spirit realm that witchcraft and sorcery is being done in all shape, form, and fashion. You don't know. You don't go get what Satan building up for you and telling you use this for your hair, use this for your skin. No, no. And this was a black woman who made this here. I remember her about 7 years ago when me and my daughter went to the mall. She was selling these same things. And I think they run about 40. Back then it was 40, I think $45. I don't know what he paid for it. But all of it's going to the trash, and I got to let him know when someone's selling stuff like that, don't ever buy it. Don't ever buy it. You don't even know what you get. And even like me talking to y'all, my nose start running from that smell. I'm telling you, it was really something that caused me to realize that, see, Deborah, use your first instinct, Deborah. The spirit has given you that. The ability to know. When you walked in there, you didn't even want to use that. He said, all this other stuff you have here, you could have used because you used it. But why did you go to this one? You see? And you knew better because you said it before you put it on. So let me get this off here. So let's get to the hair. Same thing with the hair. These Arabs, these Chinese, these people are making trash, giving it to the stupidest people on the face of the earth, and telling them, here, this is yours. This good for your hair. This moisturizer. This is good for your body. This is good for your skin. This is good for your scalp. Tell me Judah is not gone. These people don't care for you. They hate you with a perpetual hate. But yet, you thinking their product is for you. You see how sick Judah is? That's how sick we are as a nation of people. As a nation of people. You see? That's how sick we are. And ever since I put that cream on me, I washed it off, but I still got that. It started a runny nose out of nowhere, you guys. Out of nowhere. You can't go buying stuff. You don't know what these people are putting into this stuff. Let's get to Sister Deborah crocheting her hair. I put my natural hair down. Like now, I got my natural hair in braids. I can braid really good. Okay. I used to do that when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and no one knew where I learned it. I just learned how to braid in all kind of ways. I learned how to do hair. And I got my hair and I braided it down as a protective style. As a protective style, I braided my hair down. I go get from not this Chinese shop, but it's not a Chinese, it's a black shop. If I don't make it to the black shop, I go to the Korean shop. They're no different, the black or whatever, because she's still ordering the same form. It's still the same form. This hair, no matter what you all don't understand, it don't matter if you understand, because you ain't got sense enough to understand nothing basic. So I don't expect you to understand this. These chemicals that they have, they make this hair out of synthetic. Okay. So the sick part is, cause they tell you it's human hair. You so slow here, you think you really getting human hair. You are getting something they done made up. You ain't getting the real Chinese hair or the Korean or where they go get the natural hair. A lot of people tell me you can't go get that hair because it's voodoo and these people are wicked and evil. You putting that hair on your head. See, this is the sickness of Judah. I can see why y'all always had to send his servant, a prophet, in the midst of Judah, Israel, period. But I love the idea of he never sent them a lot of them. He gives them one. He don't work. He don't work. Y'all do not waste his time with the house of Israel nor the tribe of Judah, giving them a whole host of prophets because they gone. Deborah, one prophet ain't gonna even help them. Why should I send two or three? That's how throughout the beginning of time, always down, he always sent him one. He might go around two. Because with Moses, he gave him Aaron and his sister, Mary. You see? Most of the time, he ain't giving them a two. So you think in this day and time, you're supposed to have a host of prophets out here? Yeah. Your spirit detached who you are in the flesh. Just like when Adam and Eve went into the garden, made perfect. But what you did not understand, made perfect where? Where? You did not understand. Their spirit was not perfect in the choice that they made because it was already in them. They was made perfect by the creation of the Father, put in a place where there was no sin, no nothing. But when the sin rolled up, a spirit rolled up to the sin, which was the tree of knowledge and good of evil. Because don't forget, when he created him perfect. But what identified him? What identified who he really was? Is when he built and put him in the garden where there was two trees. It really identified who he really was. And that's even in this day and time in which we live. We run around here think our flesh have the choice to have this type of power and authority and rulership and king and head. No, baby. Stand all that trash down. Your flesh ain't got the power to do nothing but do wrong. And these ignorant people following these people, not even understand these people are worse than worse can be, is and was and going to be. And you're following them. You see? So the remnant is not the remnant. Like until the meat is not the meat. So you can run your tail around here and include yourself as somebody that's going to be going, just as the days of Noah, you're going to be left here. Give them that lesson, Deborah. You are not the remnant. Okay. Now with the hair, the Arabs, the Chinese, all them, they cannot be making up and building up all these stores. All these stores we should be turning away from, not running to. They have nothing in these stores that Sister Deborah has to have. I added on to, see my braids? I braided my hair all the way back. Okay. And all I do is add that synthetic stuff into my hair to change my hairstyle. I do not take this stuff and make it something that it is not. But synthetic is even in the clothing you wear. And many other things that you put on your body. So can't nobody say that, okay, you're not supposed to be putting that hair on. Sit y'all tails down. You don't have the spirit to discern anything. And until you're able to have that and discern it in the righteousness that God has instilled it in you, you ain't got no business discerning anything. I went to this one beauty supply around about 7 years ago, and he had a package here saying human hair. I said, "Why are you all lying on this hair saying it's human?" The man, he was an old Chinese man. He came over. He said, uh, "It says human hair." I say, "Wait a minute. You all know this is not human hair. This is synthetic." He said, "Oh." He just bust out laughing. And I really appreciate him. Now, that's why one thing about Sister Deborah, I appreciate people who tell the truth. They don't have to be the truth or in the truth. But if you speak truth to Sister Deborah, I'm good with you. I don't have no problem. I don't have no problem with that. Because you know who you in the midst of. Where you know, hey, I got to speak truth on this. He sat there and he started laughing. I said, "Yeah, you know it ain't no human hair. Why would y'all put this on the label?" Because the law said that if there's one strain of hair, of human hair is in that, then we can call it human hair. I can believe that. I told him I can believe that. See how messed up they mess y'all minds up? That all this synthetic is human hair. It's made out of everything they feed you synthetic. They feed you synthetic. Them noodles that y'all taking in, they feed y'all all kind of synthetic mess. And because you're the weak of the weak of the mindset, you thinking you getting out of here because you all that and some. No, right? No, you're not. You are the remnant in which he has always had from the beginning. It ain't cause you all that and some. Because you ain't got sense enough to discern anything because ain't no gift been given to you to discern. So when he said that, me and him just bust out laughing. Because I shot into him so bold. And for him to laugh and then sit and tell me the truth, I was good with it. And I can tell you all that human hair that they getting up here showing you all, that's not human hair. That's not human hair. That's mess that they learned how to make. China is real good with making the best technology, the best creator of any and everything has always been China. And I already knew that in elementary. I knew that in elementary. I knew that in elementary, while everybody else was hung up on great old America. The whole country that had to kill, steal, and destroy to have what they had. But yet you put all your trust and your belief and your ego and your pride and your self-centered, your motivation in a country that have done every wickedness under the sun. And y'all knew it before heaven and earth was created that it would be the one that he bring down first. But that's the one you put up on pedestal. My country, United States, waiting to vote and talk this politics mess. Y'all sick. But that's where you need to be. Sick in the broad day. So all of this, I sat and I saw these herbs just booming with all these restaurants cooking all this fried stuff. Y'all don't even understand what they bringing over cooking you all. One video showed on TikTok. They don't have they didn't have tables. They was working on the floor with the food they feeding out. Bread and fish on the floor because Judah did that sick. Y'all run around here and put Judah on pedestals if you want. You can put these men on pedestals all you want. They are not the remnant of the Most High God. So just like you say, Deborah, meat ain't meat. Woo-wee! That's them tools pulling up to reveal to me meat ain't meat. He wanted to cover also, I think that meat ain't meat is what I'm going to teach now. The remnant is not the remnant. But what he's saying as far as meat ain't meat is what I was hooping and hollering about while I was doing a lot of work in the garage outside. I was telling him, why would you create and allow all this here be like this here, this wicked and evil at its highest? You're just telling him. You see, nobody can tell him what to do with what is his. He's the I am. The I am going to be. I was. I am. Is. I'm going to be. I am the greatest. I'm the excellent. I'm the perfect one. I'm the wonderful one. I'm the all-knowing one. I'm all power. I am. And I said that I am. I can be what I want to be, when I want to be, how I want to be. Ain't nobody tell me. Because I am. The I am. So what he gave me when I sat down, no matter where they are today, understand, Deborah, heaven's hold their tomorrow in eternal. That's for me. Because of what I was seeing yesterday. How is it you going to let them get away on this earth doing all this pleasure, their flesh, thinking it's about the choice of their flesh, having I'm this and I'm that, I'm this and I could I knew better, but it couldn't stop the tears of knowing that this got to continue until he that is the I am said, it's enough time to get up out. But I just did the ideal of so long has it been like this. So I'm quite sure many of you all have asked how long. When I am that I am who he said that I am. And I know it without a doubt, I am an angel from the kingdom. I'm not an angel from the earth that's on the earth with Satan rumbling and crumbling with him. And another thing I learned too, you guys, was the fact that the spirits that work it wicked and evil in our children, or in our families, or in our fathers, or in our mothers, or in our sisters. Let me say, break that down, Deborah. Break it down. Bring it down. The spirit of evil and wicked, of the spirit of the evil and wicked that represents the evil and wicked, are in our children, are in this are in our children in the flesh, are in our household, are in our husbands and our wives, are in our parents, are in our workplace, are in our communities, are in our neighborhood, are in our tribe, are in Israel, are in the Gentiles, are in the heathens, are in the Europeans. It's just in. He said this is why people cannot understand that these things are going on, because they are in full reject. They fully reject the fact that these evil spirits are in and among them. They don't accept it, because I know for a fact that there's something's going on within even me, my children. I know that there's something there. And that's what he said to me. Go back, Deborah, to the household when there's five, three on one side, two on the other, two on one side, three on the other. In a man's household, it's his enemy. Come on now, Deborah. Come on, stick with me, stick with me. That's all he said. So now to know that the spirits that are out and about have taken over our children, our husbands, our wives, our brethren, our uncles, our fathers, our mothers. These spirits and witches cutting up on the floor, and these things is clearly seen in our eyes, and we are in full denial, and we fully reject. He just let me know, don't you reject it, because it's real. So I thank him for that too, for sharing that with me yesterday, because I was like, so it's like give up on, yes, give up, let it go. Don't run from it, don't hide from it, let it go from within, because they are not what you want them to be, and how you think that they should be, or how you feel that they should be, because they are your children. Don't do it. Don't do it. And he said to me, this is what he said. He said, how many years have you told them? How many years have you told even your ex-husband that these are spirits? Did not your ex-husband come to you 3 days ago, telling you, remember you say that everything's in spirit? It really was. He said, see, Deborah, I don't want you to counteract what you were already told. Stay in that lane. Don't come out. It's going to be a form of endurance and support. So don't come out of it for nobody, to make nobody feel better, or make somebody feel different, make somebody be put on a pedestal. You know where everything stands. Now, with that, he would allow me to use that endurance and the long suffering in the midst of what he revealed. And he had already revealed it to me, but there is a not accepting, because you think, oh, these are my babies, or oh, these are my family. These are, because in my question to him yesterday was so big, Al. That's why I had to been in a torment. Not it wasn't even a torment war. No, was it harassment? It was like trying to get all that he had to give me, and I was in the spirit, and I'm just trying to get it all, and it was like a woo, 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 bam. I wake up, meat is not meat, and I went back to sleep. But I can take out of that came to me in the early morning hours was meat is not meat. That's the only thing I can take out of it, along with the wrestling in the spirit of all the good stuff that was given to me. But that's all he allowed me to take out. And I thank him for it. So, like I said, he gave me a verse when I sat down here in the kitchen. No matter what they are today, Deborah, know that heaven holds their tomorrow and eternal. In a sense, don't think that the way they conducting themselves today is the end, baby. They ain't seeing nothing tomorrow because that's where their eternal really plays a role tomorrow. I mean, you can be where you at today, but tomorrow, ha, 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 and that means eternal. That means you can be something today, close your eyes tomorrow. You can be something today, close your eyes 10 years from now. Be something today, and close your eyes 20 years from now, but your eternal is what's held in the kingdom. And pretty much the way you conduct yourself down here on the earth is really who you are in the kingdom already. A lot of people don't know that, but it is what it is. Especially when you're dealing with it's a lot of and I spoke to you all once before about sorcery and witchcraft. When you really, I'm gonna teach a lesson on that. When you really understand sorcery and witchcraft in the spirit realm, then you'll understand. You say, "Wow!" You might even measure yourself in it because it is off the chain. It is not like the definition in the flesh, y'all. Everything Yah does, he breaks down into twos. In the flesh, you can justify, clarify, and identify what you want in the flesh. But when you find out what sorcery and witchcraft is in the spirit, it's gonna make you sit your tail down for the rest of your life. Because see, what people thinking is they can just wrap everything in what the world or what the way the flesh defined it, justify, clarify. No, baby, the highest power in any and everything is in the spiritual realm. So go play on with yourself in your flesh. Okay, so I'm gonna get down with the get down here because the remnant, the remnant, and I captured the remnant in Hebrew. Did I capture? And you know what else I captured? I also captured the remnant in Greek. I love the remnant in Greek. I thought that was really deep. Let me show you the remnant. Uh, 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 in Greek. Okay, now what I tried to teach 4 years ago, I taught the resting place. I explained to you all over and over and over and over. It was like, I'm sure I made 10 videos way back about rest and the resting place. Okay, and that the rest and the resting place, 99.10 billion don't understand. And I'm going to say it to you. And I don't care if you did it or not. It is what it is in me. That's what it is in me. I'm going to speak it to thee. You can make your resting place whatever you wanted to make it. So before I get into the Greek and the Hebrew of the small remnant, I need to go to the resting place. Um, what you all did not understand regarding the video the other day is what you ain't gonna understand today. You have to be able to find yourself in the spiritual place in what I speak. If Sister Deborah say something in the flesh place, you can take it or you can throw it away. It's good. It's good. And it's good. It's something that's fleshly, you can toss that away. But what Sister Deborah said in the spirit, you better watch yourself. You don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know what you're dealing with. So I'm going to go into this rest. For probably 4.5 years, I taught this regarding the rest and the resting place and how many of you all don't know nor will ever know nor understand what a resting place is. The rest in which the Most High Yah is speaking of, you labor, and on the seventh day, you are to rest. The Father is trying to get you to understand the rest is for those who have labored in Him. The Most High is not explaining to you that the rest is a place for your flesh because you labored in your flesh. That is for those who are born of the flesh. So when you pull up in Genesis, let me pull up there. when you pull up in Genesis and you go to verse 2, Genesis chapter 2, Genesis chapter 2 and verse 2. And on the seventh day, Yah end his work. You notice you don't say works. Because you got to take this what he's saying, and you got to wrap it in the spirit realm. Before anything can be put into the flesh, we first have to receive it in the spirit. And that's something you all are not willing to do. That's why you can come on Sister Deborah's platform and eat more food than food can be in the flesh and walk away with an empty stomach. You can sit, and Sister Deborah said, put this in your backpack. You can have a backpack on you with nothing in it. Said the Most High God to me. Okay? It's because in the midst of what is, watch this here, watch this here. In the midst of the garden was there other trees. In the midst of the garden was that which in in the garden was many trees, but in the midst of the garden were two trees. When you go in the midst, which tree are you going to? The righteous tree or the unrighteous tree? This is a question that's put upon you right today. And if you think for 1 minute you can come in and come out, dip here and dip there, come in year later, 4 years later, no, you can't. Not into this one. I know who you are. I already knew who you are before you came in. And when you left out, I already knew who you are. Because there was never support there. There was never anything that says, and don't get me wrong, support is not the sign of if I'm in there, if I'm spirit and truth, if I'm full of the light, if I got the backpack. But what fool would turn away from the light? What fool would turn away from spirit and truth? What fool would turn away from that which is spirit and truth and teaching spirit and truth to you to go into the darkness and eat from the plates they're in outside of those who already been assigned? Here we go in the garden. Two trees. Why couldn't they go to the tree of life? Same thing here. Why couldn't they reside in where the tree of life? Because they was a tree of darkness, full of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. See, that knowledge of good and evil is what they feed on. That's why they will slither in and slither out. It's not words that I could say or anything that I could do that'll cause a person to run away from what is spirit and truth or to run away from the light. Except only one can draw individual there is darkness. Darkness is the only thing that can take one from spirit and truth or from even a penny of light. That's the only thing. Why? Because two trees in the garden, they they took the tree of darkness, even in their perfectness. They took the tree of darkness. You see how powerful that is? So that's why I say unto you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you slither in and slither out. It doesn't matter to Sister Deborah. Because when y'all tails messed up from the floor of my most high Yah in the garden, you done already messed up with me. So slither your tail in and out. But I got a new thing for you today. You're gonna see it. Come up in my page if you want. I'm gonna show you what I mean. Because I already discerned you too many times. I called it out too many times. And I keep going back because I'm a person that yeah, I am when it's weak, that's a weakness of me. And y'all still working on me. Why? Because he said, use what I gave you, Deborah. I gave you the spirit of discerning. And I constantly on you try to spirit by the spirit. Don't feed into them no more. They've been on that page too long to keep feeding into them. Don't keep feeding into them. Boot them out. Get all the darkness away. So here it is. You see the two gardens. And you see the two gardens sitting right here. And the first two that were created decided to go the way of the darkness in their perfect, in their perfect, in their perfect state of mind. know they won't teach you that. They won't preach to you that. But let's pull up in Genesis chapter 2 and verse 2. And on the seventh day, Yah ended the work. It's work. Wait a minute. Why ain't you saying works? You did a lot of things, Father. Why'd you just say work? I'm a oneness there. Okay. Which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from his work, which he had made. We got to understand the rest in the work. The work in the rest is spiritual. Y'all is not caught up in nor out of the world taking hold of a day of rest. He's not speaking to you. You are not the remnant in which he's speaking unto. You notice why, and I'm going to break it down to you. You notice here in Genesis chapter 2 and verse 2. Let's read it again. And on the seventh day, Yah in his works. No, work. I like that because the single of what the word work means takes me to the spirit. Okay? So I know that the work was spiritual, even though you see it natural, which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day of his work. Okay? Which he made. The rest was for a remnant of those which is the remnant of the Most High Yah. That's what that rest is for. It is not the rest for the world when you work 7 days or 6 days and you rest. It is not the rest of your Sabbath and man-made tradition of their Sabbath. It is not the rest for Saturday or Sunday. It is a rest that is spiritual that each and every last one of y'all tells never knew. But it was for the remnant to grip in the spirit and what? Rest therein. So when you hear Sister Deborah talk about, and I shall rest therein. See, you never knew the power behind my rest. You never hear me talking about the rest in the tradition of man, or on a Sunday, or on a Saturday. You ain't gonna hear it from me. Because Sister Deborah knows the true rest. Hallelujah. Sister Deborah knew that the Father in heaven need no rest. So he had to be talking about something spiritual to his spiritual remnant regarding rest. You're clowning, y'all. Adam and Eve didn't take the choice of the rest. Adam and Eve wasn't a small remnant. Why didn't they take the rest, Deborah? Why didn't they take the rest? Because when they separated themselves from the tree of life, they separated themselves from the rest in which the Most High was speaking unto those that are the remnant. See, the rest is not for the world. The commandments is not for the world. The law is not from the world. Only the commandment of the world has a commandment. The commandments, the law of the world has their law. But Yah has a law within himself. Yah has a commandment that rests therein. And the only reason and way you can gain that is being the remnant that belongs to the Most High Yah. Rest is not for you. Rest is for me. That's why Sister Deborah claimed it when I present myself before you. I must you talking about, y'all? Who are you talking to? I'm talking to you, Deborah. When you labor in the spirit realm, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, Deborah, 6 days, but Deborah, on that 7th day, I want you to rest in me. Because you have labored spiritual 6 days. Now rest in my bosom on the 7th. So let's get to it. Rest is not rest. Two sides of rest. You can rest in the spirit of your flesh labor, or you can rest in the spirit of rest, being the remnant of the Most High Yah. Okay? All right. Now, the remnant is who the rest was created for. That's why they were the only one that upheld the will and the way of the Father. Because he set that rest not for the world. That rest is for the small remnant all the time, y'all. It's always been and always shall be. When you think that you are all that in some, come go with me where I'm going to go. I do hear Noah. No, let's go to Noah. Noah and the ark. He had a small remnant saved. He destroyed the whole world, but yet found favor for a small remnant. This is why I say to you all, he that sit under Sister Deborah and are of the spirit of the Most High Yah, to gain food for the spirit, so that they too can take off and run on. You see? And teach and speak on the things of the spirit. You see? That's those who come to this page. You don't come here to live. You don't come here to stay. You come here to get all the 4 meal deals in the spirit that you possibly can. That's why I call it the book backpack. These things in which I speak, you're going to need to stay in this race. But this page is not here for you to just grab all you can, full up your backpack and get everything you can, run with it, and then curse where you come from. You better watch yourself. You are not the remnant. Okay? Now, what I also learned, also dealing with the remnant, he took me to Genesis chapter 2, verse 2, wanting me to take it a little deeper into the fact that when he spoke of the rest, it wasn't for you, it was for his remnant. So even the word rest is not for the world. He's given it to his remnant that runs 6 days in the spirit. And on the 7th day, rest your bosom. Rest your head on my bosom. Just as he did. He created for 6 days. We know he don't need no rest. But what was he doing? He was ascending Sister Deborah aside. When I'm doing the work of my spirit, on the 7th day, I want you to do your work of the spirit. That means always be open to hear the voice of Yah. Hear him teach and preach you. Hear him minister to you. Hear the word. Teach yourself. Teach the people. 6 days, and on that 7th day, rest in my bosom, Deborah. Because we know he didn't need no rest. So who was he talking about? The rest. I know it. Y'all just been deceived again. This is what he explained to me. If they missed Genesis 1 and 2, Deborah, they missed the whole thing. They have missed it. And I'm a living witness today. Not a dead prophet, but a living one. Y'all have missed it again. and again and again and again and again to the infinity. Okay? So the small remnant rest has the gift of Yah's rest. Okay? That's why Sister Deborah say, and I shall rest. Because I know I ain't speaking to your flesh, even though your flesh keep coming through my page for no reason. Throughout the months, throughout the years, stay down. Because if anything I'm saying, I'm teaching, and the way I'm saying it is harmful to you, keep your tail off this page. It's not for you. How about that? How about that? How you like me now? Okay? Now, I'm going to hit you in places you've never gone before. So when you're speaking of the Sabbath, it's not for the world. The commandments nor not for the world. I already spoke that. So a lot of you all go on and hook up to the world and get the pleasure out of the pleasure it has to offer you. Because you are born to be connected to the world. Let's go there. Let's go there. Now we're going to bring you back to Genesis. Genesis chapter 2 again. If you miss Genesis 1 and 2, you miss the whole book. The whole study guide, it's no understanding in you. Genesis 2. There it is sitting dead in your eyes. He created them in a perfect situation. And their spirit desire to walk in the way of darkness. This is the beginning. And again, I want to say this here. I don't know where this is coming from. I want you all to understand. When I was a young person, like in the 6th and 7th grade, I couldn't understand why people keep thinking just because he spoke of Adam and Eve that was the only one he created. No, no. Stop trying to put him in a black box where you got your tail sitting. You can't put him in a black box. So stop trying to put him in the little black box that you sit in. Because that's not who he is. He's the I am. And I am can't be put in no box. Okay? So even Genesis chapter 2, along the line for Adam, when Adam was created, he was already created and placed in the garden, choosing in the garden, the tree of knowledge. He was already choosing it. So all this trash they teaching you all, sell on with it. Okay? Now, I want you to understand the remnant is the only thing that the Father has invested in him. The remnant is the rest. When you look up the remnant, and let me see which one is this. Yeah. When you look up the remnant in Hebrew, it is what is left over. What is left over? What is left over? You know the two gates. One is broad and one is narrow. Which one has the most? The broad gate. What's left over? That which is in the narrow. You see? So the remnant is what is left over. And it's also called the rest. Okay? The residue. Mm. Those who escape. The survivors, the remainders. That's who the remnant is. And that one is in Hebrew. The remnant in Hebrew, strong 7611, is rest. Rest, R-E-S-T. So don't come to this page thinking you know something and you don't know nothing. This is a page where you shut your mouth and learn. Yah is not sending his boldness on the world or on the earth where Satan has deceived the whole earth and sending his remnant down here to be deceived and to go the way you want it to go, to say it the way you want it to be said, do it the way you want it to be done. Satan got enough of y'all going his route. I don't have to speak your way. I don't have to go Satan way. I have to go the opposite way. So you go on through the broad gate, let me stay in my narrow gate, which is the way to life eternal. How you like me now? So the remnant in Hebrew, strong 7611, is detached to the word rest. This is the rest that you see in the beginning. 6 days labored, on the seventh rest. We knew y'all don't rest. He don't need it. What was he saying, Deborah? Deborah, I need you. I need you to rest in the labor in which you speak. 6 days. On the seventh, rest in my bosom. And this rest is connected to the remnant. That's who the rest is for. It's not for the world. You think he care about you laboring 6 days and on the seventh day you represent him? You sick. You sick. He's talking about those who come down here as the small remnant that labor in the spirit realm on his behalf because they are created, ordained, and predestined for the small remnant to represent him. In the spirit realm must they rest on the seventh. And the rest is not a rest for your worldly, fleshly body to labor in. And you need rest. Now, this small remnant is consist of, in Strong's Hebrew 7611, as what is left over. That's the small remnant. The rest. That's the small remnant. The residue. The small remnant. One who escaped. That's the small remnant. The survivors. That's the small remnant. The remainders. That's the small remnant. What the rest behind y'all out here talking about? All this mess these men are teaching and preaching on these devil platforms. Y'all eating this mess up like it is the spiritual word of the Most High God. Eat on. Continue your 4 meal deal. And rest in that. Because that is not, and you are not, the remnant of the Most High God. Okay? So, we've now gone into the Greek. Now, watch this here. In the book, it says, in which I did the study on the Greek word for remnant. The Greek word for remnant is dwelling, habitation, resting, putting to rest, a calming of the wind, the calm of the wind. Now, this here in the Greek, I'm trying to see, is this my the Greek? Oh yeah, that's the Greek. That's the Greek for remnant, dwelling, habitation, resting. Now listen to what it says. Listen to this, you guys. In the Greek, it says heavenly blessedness in which Yah dwells, and of which he has promised to make preserving believers in Christ, partakers after toiling and trials of life on the earth are end. And listen to it again. This is what you call the remnant that's connected to the rest. Okay? Dwelling, inhabiting, habitation, resting, putting to rest, a calm wind. Now watch this here. Hear this. Heavenly blessedness in which Yah dwells, and of which he has promised to make preserving believers in Christ, partakers after all the toil and trials of life on the earth are end. These are the remnant of the Most High Yah who rest therein. See, you had it messed up from the floor up again. And you will get people who will run here and find all kind of ways to justify what this is saying, or what any scripture I give you is saying. And when they finish, they have every right, because there's two sides. There's two sides to this. They can teach you in the flesh, but they can't teach you in the spirit. So they have to teach you on the side of the flesh. Sister Deborah gonna pull up in the spirit. All right. Okay. So here we go. Now we get busy. Oh, Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 6. Let's go. And understand and understood. Okay. Ezekiel chapter 6, verse 8. Ezekiel chapter 6, verse 8. Ezekiel chapter 6, verse 8. Yet will I leave a remnant, that ye may have some that shall escape the sword among the nations, when ye shall be scattered through the countries. A remnant is a people that are the rest, what the rest of Yah has created. You see, Yah created a rest for them. You see, he's speaking of the small remnant, just like in Genesis chapter 2. Genesis chapter 2, he's talking to the small remnant regarding the rest. And everybody think he's talking to them. The word said, oh, he's talking to us Christians. Oh, he's talking to us. Hebrew Israelites. Oh, he's talking to us. Oh, no, the Catholic. He's talking to us. Come on now. Pull up. He's talking to those who knows the direction to the narrow gate. He's talking to those who would walk where Adam and Eve walked and take the tree of life, and not the tree of knowledge of good and evil. See, you didn't understand what he was doing, and you still don't. And it's all right. You already chosen. Already been chosen within. Okay, so here in Ezekiel chapter 6 and verse 8, it reads, yet will I leave a remnant. He's going to leave only a remnant. Wait a minute, Father, y'all, what you mean? Tell him, Deborah, I'm going to leave my own remnant. My remnant is not you all saying you the remnant. My remnant is me saying, this is my remnant. So you can go get your king, your leader, your ruler. Let your husband be the head. You can be whatever you want. Play that role on over there. All of that is okay. It's okay. Sister Deborah saluted. But the remnant of the Most High God, he ain't in all that chaos. You are. So stay where you need to be. Where he says, Ezekiel chapter 6, verse 8, yet will I leave a remnant. I'm going to leave that, Deborah. They're not going to leave it. They ain't got the power nor the authority. Satan is not going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. Me, my own remnant. So tell them, you are not my remnant, that ye may have some that shall escape the sword. Now, what was that? Let's go here. What was the remnant in Hebrew? Ones who escape. In Hebrew, that's what the remnant means. Ones who escape. And it says, have some that shall, not will, but shall escape the sword among the nations, where ye shall be scattered through all the country. They telling you the whole house is coming up. They telling you that all the house of Israel and tribe of Judah, he taking the whole house out of here. Y'all better watch yourself. No, you don't even need to watch yourself, because y'all already got his eyes on you. He know where you belong. He's allowing you to go through the broad gate right where you need to go. He is just going to escape the sword. They going through the narrow gate, the way. Who's going to do it? I will leave a remnant. He did it. Watch this. He did it. He actually did it. When he turned around and with Noah, 7 out of all the people in the world, 7. Don't mess with him. You don't know him. You don't know the I am. You don't know who the I am is. The I am said, okay, I only have a small remnant here, devil. Wait a minute, hold up. You only have 7 out of billions or out of millions. Yeah, and they don't get it, do they? They sure don't. They don't even know who they dealing with, Father, y'all. You only have 7 that escaped. 7 was the remnant of Noah. Now let me break that thing down to y'all tell so you'll know. The 7 that escaped wasn't like they was upright, just and all of this, but because of that one, who's that? No, don't mess with y'all's. Because of Noah himself did all his come out. The remnant came out the head of whom God had chosen. It wasn't because they were all that and some. Nobody tells the Father who's to choose regarding his remnant. The Father has a tendency of coming to the family and upholding the children on the behalf of his servants that has family and has people that's invested in them. Noah pulled up, and the remnant was only his family. Was his family worldly? No, but Noah was. So because Noah was, Yah selected servant, his his selected servant, he made his family his remnant. All the mess they did later, it didn't matter what y'all. I'm the one that chooses my remnant. Ezekiel chapter 6 and verse 8. Yet I will leave a remnant. Let's go. Let's pull on up. Let's pull all the way up to it. Solomon and Gomorrah. Lot, me, knowing what's going on in the spirit realm, I'm like, okay, Lot shouldn't have came out either. But because who? Abraham. Because who? Abraham. Lot and his family came out. What happened to his wife? What happened to his daughter when they got him up in the mountains? So really, do you think that small remnant really was about a lot? And his daughters? The remnant was because who Abraham was. Y'all better watch yourself. You don't know who you're dealing with. Especially when you come up here rolling up on Sister Deborah page thinking you know A to Z and you all up in the spirit and the spirit got to be controlled by you. You messed up from the floor up. All the way. He is not sending this bold prophet for you to think that you is going to run over that individual and you're going to take advantage and you're going to sit your tail on here day and night and day for years and years and have no sense or no desire to support the individual at all. And when you do it with crumbs. But that's okay too. Y'all said they are who they are. Them serpents can sit in the garden all they want. But the only tree they going to take up is the tree of knowledge and good and evil. My tree of life still standing tall and firm. How you like him now? So pull your tail up on this page all you want for the next 2, 3, 1 month, 6 months, whatever, all you want. You ain't taking nothing from this devil platform but the tree of knowledge and good and evil. Because nothing Sister Deborah said is going to manifest in you for you to help others or to lead others or to gain, how would I say, or to gain anything to teach someone anything. Even if it's one person, you ain't going to manifest nothing in them because your heart is not right. Going to and fro, trying to find somewhere or something. You too much. People are, to me, I said to the Father, it seems like everybody is more geared to the world. They don't can't see the hour in which we in. He said, what are they supposed to, Deborah? They're not my remnant. They think it's about what they doing on the outside of what's going on. They think it's about what they worldly matters. Let them stay where they at. Let them stay where they at. That is so true. So here in Ezekiel chapter 6 and verse 8, he said, yet will I leave a remnant that may have some that shall escape the sword among the nations. When ye shall be scattered throughout the country. I got a remnant, y'all. He telling you, I got mine. So run your tail any way you want. You can run north, east, south, west. You can go to Timbuktu or Tumaku or wherever you want. You still got his. Okay? Now, Jeremiah chapter 44. I like this because he's speaking in these verses. He's speaking to you all. You can run your tail, follow these men, these women, and all these fake prophets, these prophets, and whatever that makes your spirit feel good. You don't understand. Adam and Eve spirit felt good to choose the tree of life, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is death. Let me say that again because you still don't get it. Adam and Eve chose the tree that leads to death. That's what their spirit was led to. So you think yours leading to something? Come on. Jeremiah chapter 44 and verse 27 through 29. Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 27 to 29. And it reads, behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. And all the men of Judah, wait a minute, yeah. And all the men of Judah, wait a minute. And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine until there be an end of them. See, you all don't understand. These men ain't gonna teach this word. That's why they want the women mouth shut. They want your women mouth silent. But what the women don't understand, in y'all, there's no male, no female. How about that? Y'all ain't sending nobody as male or female to speak his word, measuring it, your mouth to be loved by male or female. This is man word on here. Like James Brown said, this is the man's word. That's what's running on this earth. But notice the same man that rule the earth is, you see the wicked and evil upon it from the men. They won't own that thing. So they'll shut the women's mouth up and use this book to tame you. And the people don't know any better, just like the small remnant. They don't understand when it come down to y'all's remnant, it's neither male nor female. Stand y'all tails down. When he sent his servants in the spirit to represent him, you think it's male or female? He's only a spirit. And if he's sending you to represent him as a spirit and he's abiding in you, you think he's looking at you as a male or female? And who gives the men in the flesh the authority to tell those that's called by Yah in the spirit, that's ordained, predestined before the foundation of the world? He knew them and he sanctified them. And who in the rest behind called your flesh to tell those that Yah has called that they're not supposed to speak and they're not supposed to exalt themselves above you. They are above you in every shape, form, and fashion. Because you ain't nothing but flesh. Stand down. You are not the remnant. Okay? So in Jeremiah chapter 44 and verse 24, hear this. I know won't hear it. This is what they won't teach you all. And I noticed that throughout this whole instruction and direction book, they will not bring you before man on man. They will not go toe to toe, man on man, meaning male on male on this in this book. They won't go. Because they are of the flesh. They are not going to speak the words of the spirit. They got all these pages, YouTube, Instagram, Patriot, Rumble, Twitter. They got all these pages making you think they king, they leader, they ruler, they this. And this is the sort of stuff they miss. This is what they're not going to teach the young men nor the men in the camps. This is what they're not going to teach the men in the Hebrew Israelite movement. This is what they're not going to teach the men in the Hebrew Israelite cults. This is not what they're going to teach the men in the Hebrew Israelite churches. This is not what they're going to teach the men in the Hebrew Israelite family. They ain't going to teach you this. They ain't going to come nowhere near it. They ain't going to touch it. They ain't going to get near it. Because you are not the remnant. Okay? So here in Jeremiah chapter 44 and verse 27, behold, I will watch over them for evil. I'm going to watch their evil and not for good. I'm going to watch their evil, Deborah. And all the men of Judah. Didn't I tell you I come down here to be in the midst of Judah? And because I called Judah out, you have the audacity to tell me, am I always talking about me? You always got this set. You darn right. What is your instructions and direction directing you to? Me, Judah, I'm talking to you. Telling you your ugliness, your wickedness, your abomination, your Satanism. And you refuse to hear him either way he go. If he go in a man's mouth, you refuse him. If he go in a woman's mouth, you refuse him. But what you didn't understand, he got a small remnant. And if you hear them not, you ain't going to hear nobody but Satan. Okay. So he says that in Judah, that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine, and until there be an end of them. He's letting you know this is how it was in Egypt. So shall it be where you're at now. And this is what I am beholding. I'm beholding this. Verse 28. Yet a small number that escaped the sword. A small number that escaped the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt into the land of Judah. And all the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall know whose words shall stand, mine or theirs. See what y'all did, people? Y'all gave Judah too much rope. Y'all gave these men of Judah too much rope. Y'all believe every word they say and don't take on the spirit that y'all have sent to be his vessel, to speak on his behalf. And y'all take on these men and men on men. And this is why you see in Judah 80% of them in the closet, out of the closet, under the bed. In this homosexual, this lust, this abomination, this witchcraft, this sorcery, this adulteress, this fornication. They in every form, shape, and fashion. And got you thinking that they are in the right. They are walking in the righteous way, in the direction, and you're falling, you taking your stupid tails, following them therein. Thanks be to the Most High Yah, who have handpicked his own remnant. And you are not the remnant. And then he says here in verse 29, and this shall be a sign unto you, said Ahiah, Yah, that I will punish you in this place, that ye may know that the word shall surely stand against you for evil. Don't mess with my father. Don't mess with him. You messing with the wrong one. He already plucked his head. They in his hand. When he said they can't take you out of his hand, he talking about his small remnant. He ain't talking to you. He ain't talking to you. Like in the beginning. He ain't telling you to take no rest. For what? He don't give a rest behind about your flesh. He's talking about those who work in the spirit on his behalf. To rest in his bosom on that 7th day. Sit y'all tails down. Y'all playing games with yourself. You're playing with yourself. Let's put it like that. Okay, now Jeremiah chapter 8. Oh, no. Right here in Jeremiah chapter 44. Okay? In Jeremiah chapter 44, it talks about they will be consumed. In 27, it says, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine until there be an end of them. You know who has said that? Isaiah. How many times I keep telling you I go to Isaiah? Chapter 3 of Isaiah, verse 25. Same thing. He said it to who? The men. that's why it's going to be a small remnant of women. I mean, a small amount of men. And if a woman see a man, that's going to be a holy man, meaning he can already been sealed to be holy. So that's why she said she wants the name that is on him, which is called holy. Not because he's going to be her husband and he's going to have 7 wives. The sickness of Judah. They have turned my father's word all kind of ways outside of righteous. And it's okay for you to do that. It's okay. Because Adam and Eve was created perfect and they went straight to the tree that leads to what? The lake of fire. So it's okay for you to do what you do. And they were created perfect. So go in the direction that pleases your flesh to mislead you and guide you that everything you're doing in the flesh is righteous. And as for your spirit is upright. Oh, Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 3. Jeremiah chapter 8 and verse 3. We gonna nail this here. Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 3. You ain't the remnant of the Most High Yah. Jeremiah chapter 8 and verse 3. Jeremiah chapter 8 and verse 3. And the death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family which remaineth in all the places rather I have driven them, said a higher of hosts. See, what people do not understand, Yah is not coming for Israel in the flesh. He's coming for Israel that he has invested, the remnant in the spirit. He's not coming for Israel and Judah in the flesh. He's coming for Israel that he had put investment in the spirit of those. Oh, his remnant. You are not his remnant. And you shut your mouth and exalt yourself above what I just said. How about that? Try to exalt yourself above that. You are not the remnant. And y'all find time today to let you know. Because y'all been playing this horse mess with these people, and these people are playing it with you all. Silly women laden with sin and lust, following all these sick men, using this thing as a game of the flesh, knowing this thing already gained the victory of the spirit. Sit down, clowns. Revelation chapter 5. Oh, somebody's in some trouble now, Father Yah. Ooh, somebody. Ooh, they now in trouble. They in trouble. Revelation chapter 5 and verse 9. Revelation chapter 5 and verse 9. Here, what it says. Revelation chapter 5, verse 9. It's y'all. They don't know people. You all and anybody at the sound of my voice. You don't know how lucky you are to be able to get the word from the instructions and direction book. But you are blessed when you get it from the prophets of the Most High. You are blessed to be able to get some instructions and direction. But the greater blessing is when y'all send his servants to climb on top of it and speak spirit and truth with the light in my right hand. Revelation chapter 5 and verse 9, and it reads, Revelation chapter 5, verse 9. And they sung a new song, singing, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof. And thou hast slain and hast redeemed us to Yah by the blood out of every kinsman, kindred, tongues, and people, and nations. Hear it again. Revelation chapter 5, verse 9. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and open the seals thereof. For thou was slain and hast redeemed us. You have redeemed us. You have redeemed us. Who is that redeemed us? Yeshua HaMashiach through the what? You're going to hear it. But he has redeemed us. Who? The small remnant that belongs to the bosom of the Most High Yah. He has redeemed us to who? Yah. He came and redeemed us back to Yah. Because in the beginning, we started on the right track and we got off. So Yeshua HaMashiach came, Yah, son him to come to redeem us back into the bosom of the Most High Yah. Because we are the remnant of the Most High Yah. And he comes to redeem us to Yah by the blood out of every kindred's tongue, out of every kindred's tongue, out of every kindred's tongues, people, and nations. Where is Judah? Where is Israel? Within. He's telling you, Yeshua HaMashiach came to redeem all that belongs to the Most High Yah. Why? Because they are the remnant. That's the true remnant. That's the true remnant. So when you go into Genesis chapter 2, and he said, 6 days you labor, but on that 7th day you rest. He was talking to all nations. He wasn't wanting us to meditate on a day and an hour and a moment on a Sabbath day, on a Saturday, or on a Sunday. What day you take the Sabbath? If you ain't his remnant, what's the Sabbath for? In you and your organization, your church, your family, your temple, your congregation, your cult, your community, your camp. What's the measure of the rest if you're not resting after 7 days in the spirit as he rested? 7 days, 6 days. We knew he don't need no rest, but what rest is he talking about? Spirit. Nations is where his remnant, his whole remnant is found. Not Judah, not Israel. They still don't get it. They want to make Israel and Judah and the Jew and we the people, we the this and we the Israelite, all important. But where are you at in the spirit of it? Are you found as the remnant? Because when it's said and done, when Noah and the ark, who was found? 7 people. Oh, you mean you didn't have no more remnant? Solomon and Gomorrah, who was found? Nobody. But because of Abraham, Lot, and his family. And then his mother dropped off, his wife dropped off. What did that mean to the daughter? They wasn't a remnant, but it was Abraham. The heart of Abraham, he brought them out because of who Abraham is. And Sister Deborah want to make that statement right here and now. Because of who I know that I am in him. I don't owe you nothing, and you don't owe me nothing. But I tell you what, I told you I don't have no sense in the flesh. Pull up on me on the spirit. You're going to get messed up on the floor because I am. I am who I am. Say that I am. I am his remnant. Keep it going. Go on. Keep it going. Keep it going. Go on your way. Okay. So here I love this because it said, Revelation chapter 5, verse 9, and they sung a song saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and open the seals thereof. For thou was slain and has redeemed us to who? Yah. How did he redeem? How did Yeshua redeem us back to Yah? That power poured up. Fulfilled the destiny of Yeshua all the way to the end. Raised him up. That power. Fulfill the will of the Father to redeem his back. Did he die for everybody's sins? Yes. Everybody's sins got forgiven that day. But the ones that he came for was the remnant. Israel and Judah think it was all about them. You're messed up from the floor. You're caught up in the flesh, thinking it's about the flesh of a nation of people and a tribe of people. No, baby, you missed it. I'm sure it was about Israel in Genesis with Noah. I'm sure it's about Israel with Abraham and Lot. and everything he done when he chopped they bad boys down. Moses came off the mountain and killed every bit of 4,000 to 5,000 people of Israel and Judah. You better watch yourself. You better watch yourself. Moses told him who on the y'all side, meaning who is the remnant. And those that wasn't the remnant, they killed him. Y'all don't know who you dealing with. God got his remnant already. So while y'all running around here talking about a woman not to speak, and you hear all these old nappy-headed, muscle-headed, full of flesh men want to measure and make y'all about the flesh and not about the spirit. You don't give a rat's behind if you're male or female. Are you my remnant? Are you my rest? So here he says, for thy was slain and has redeemed us to Yah by thy blood out of every kindred, tongues, people, and nations. Praise the mighty Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. Melanie, China, Russia, America, Africa, all nations is included. All because everybody wants to categorize it the flesh way. They don't want to pull up in the spirit. They don't want nothing to do with the Father's spirit way of orchestrating this thing from the beginning and the end. They want to pull everything up in the flesh and lead and guide those that are full of flesh. That's why the gate that leads to broad is so broad. I don't blame hell enlarge it. I don't blame, because many, every last one of you are going to head where you need to head. Because his remnant is in the palm of his hand. When he said you can't pluck what's mine, because they my small remnant. All of y'all was my remnant because you a Jew. Because you the Hebrew Israelite. Because you the not Abraham. Because you the house of Israel. Oh no. Y'all messed up. The house of Israel still holds my remnant. But when that mountain is created, all nations is going to be able to come up. Not just Israel. But I got a remnant in Israel that I'm going to bring forth. Even the remnant that was with David, that's dead. If I had to pull them bones up and bring that army over there, I will. If you think I'm getting you from today for tomorrow, you messed up from the floor up. Because I will pull up them dry bones and bring them to the land of the promise that is holy. How you like him now? Now let's get into this. Now we go to Corinthians chapter, First Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 12. First Corinthians chapter 1, no, First Corinthians chapter 12, verse 26 and 27. No. That's not where I need to go. First Corinthians chapter 12, verse 26 and 28. First Corinthians chapter 12. First Corinthians chapter 12, verse 26. Wait a minute. Chapter 12, verse 26 through 28. Starting with 26. First Corinthians chapter 26. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all members rejoice with it. What you don't understand, this is the body of Hamashiach. Sister Deborah tried to inform you all that all the churches, all the Hebrew Israelite movements, all the Hebrew Israelite cults, all these Hebrew Israelite men, all these Hebrew Israelites stuck in their houses with their families, trying to teach you righteous, trying to teach you the light, trying to teach you spirit and truth. They are long distance from it because they should have been teaching you about the body of Hamashiach, which the world kind of understand it as the body of Christ, but it exists. Okay, but listen to what he says in verse 26, 1 Corinthians chapter 26. And whether one member suffered, that's the body of Hamashiach, that's that small remnant, that's that small remnant, the body of Hamashiach suffer, all members suffer with it because we are one in this. See, the spirit realm of Yah call us one. So when we're reading this, we got to pull ourselves right into the realm of his oneness, not ours. We can't pull ourselves over to the Hebrew Israelites. We can't pull ourselves over here to we the tribe, we the two Jews, we the this, we the this, we the this, we the people. No, no, no. You got to pull your butt over to the spiritual realm. Leave that flesh to itself. Because they don't get it in the spirit. They only can get it in the flesh. So, 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 26. And whether one member suffer, all members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all members rejoice with it. Verse 7. Now ye are the body of Hamashiach. What did I tell you? This is a remnant that the Yeshua Hamashiach came to redeem back to the bosom of the Most High God. Because they are the remnant that belongs in the kingdom. And he said in verse 27, now ye are the body of Hamashiach, which is the body of Christ, and the members and the members in it particle. What is that? Peculiar. Peculiar. Okay, members in peculiar. This is what it's saying. Verse 26. And Yah has set some in the church. You see? In the body of Hamashiach. He's letting you know. In the body of Hamashiach, which is the body of Christ, which is the church. First apostles, secondary prophet, thirdary teachers, after that miracles and then gifts and healings and helping governments, diverse diversities and of tongues, diverse tongues. 29 are all no, that was it. Just that's in the body of Hamashiach. That's what I was teaching yesterday. That's the remnant that's in there. When one hurt, all hurt. What you mean, Deborah? I don't know they hurt, but Yah does. He consider us one. That's what Yeshua was separating the sheep, which is considered a singular one, from the goats. We are one in this body of Hamashiach. Oh, these Hebrew Israelites ain't gonna teach you. These Israelite cults, these Hebrew Israelite community, these Hebrew Israelite families, these Hebrew Israelites camps, these Hebrew Israelite men, all this is trash, trash, trash to the world. And they're going to get what they got coming. You want to play with the world, you want to rumble with the world, you're going to make God the world instead of leaving him as the spiritual realm. He is the I am. Oh no, you got to put him down low as you are. And make people see him down there as low as you are. No, you's a lie from the pit of hell. You ain't gonna bring him that low. You ain't gonna bring him nowhere near that because he can't come near that. That's your trash. Now here he's showing you that the body of Christ are those that are members. The members is a small remnant. I still try to tell you now. All this trash that these people teaching out here, to me, like the Father was dealing with me yesterday, Deborah, leave them alone. Let them do what they are created to do. Did you see me? Now, listen to this. Did you see me go stopping Adam in the garden? Everything I created was good. But when I saw him in the garden, did you hear me say, this is not good? First and foremost, I can't complete my will because he was the only one there. But Adam already had started entertaining the tree. That's why it was easy for him to sit, watch her, also do what he had already done and be present there with him. When the charge wasn't even given to her, it was given to him. So it didn't matter what they tried to make it look like her. They took away from him and made it her. And this is what the world receives and believes. Just as they have taken the most high God, the I am, away from everything. And they have made their own gods out of flesh of men and women. Out of the flesh of men. Okay. So that was Corinthians 26 through 28. He was explaining to you about the body of Hamashiach. That's also the remnant. That's the remnant. Okay. Now, First Corinthians chapter 6. And what has happened is we just lying. And y'all said, stay in your lie, because I ain't gonna take you no other way but in your lie. Because you already wrote in the books, or in the book of life, or in the books. So you can stay where you at. Going in and out of Sister Deborah page, not knowing if you're going or coming, and won't support, stay where you at. You ain't gaining nothing but making yourself look stupid. Okay? First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 20. For ye are brought with you, wait a minute. Ye are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify Yah in your body and in your spirit. See, he's separating the both. The body and the, he's not separating, he put them together. The body and the spirit, which are Yah's. See, that's why I tell y'all, people can't tell you about the commandments, the laws, or the feast days. Sit y'all tails on down. What's the sense of having the feast days? What's the sense of having the commandments? What's the sense of having the laws? What's the sense of having a Sabbath when you don't and you're not a part of the remnant that serves him in spirit and truth? All that is trash. And if y'all want to, go and do your search. He even spoken in this instructions and direction. He don't have no dealings with a Sabbath, nor with a feast days. Why do you think he connected the feast days to the days of Noah and the days of life? Because they think they feast days gives them victory in their walk in your eyes with Yah. Y'all said, no, They don't even know what my Sabbath meant. Sister Deborah, tell them again. The Sabbath is for the rest of the remnant to rest her in. After recognizing him 6 days, come lay your head in my bosom and rest her in, because I prepared the resting place for you eternal. How about that? How about that? Okay. So here in 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 20, it says, for ye are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify Yah in your body and in your spirit, which are Yah's. See what I'm talking about? Why they telling you to follow a man, submit yourself to a man. In Yah, there's no male nor female. So what the rest behind they talking about? This is the way they have created the lies against him. But they didn't understand you. Baby, he already knew you was against him before the foundation of the world. In the books have he wrote who's against him and who's for him. You already written. So down here clowning don't mean nothing. Get all the clown tickets you want. People done called themselves to all type of positions just to deceive you to walk through the gate that's broad. Now we're going to go to Colossians. In the book of Colossians, chapter 1. I'm almost done here. The book of Colossians, chapter 1, and what is it, 14? Chapter 1 and 14. The book of Colossians, chapter 1 and verse 14, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sin. See how you are forgiven? Through who? The redemption through his blood. Even the forgiveness of your sin. What did I tell y'all? People run around here and tell you this. Your sin has already been forgiven. That's why people can't tell you to hold the commandments. Oh, you got to hold the law. You have to hold the commandments. Hold your tradition and get your tail somewhere and sit down. You're not the remnant. You're not the remnant. You're not in the body of Hamashiach. So keep y'all tradition on that left side where it belongs. That's where it was ordained. See, a lot of people didn't know Adam and Eve were already ordained to the lake of fire from the kingdom. They didn't get to the lake of fire on the earth, baby. They got to the lake of fire on the kingdom. So when they was planted down here perfect, they went straight where they needed to go, where they already was predestined. How you like them now? When you mess with God, you don't know what you're messing with. You are already predestined where you're trying to fool people. You going somewhere different. That's why they don't want women to speak. That's why they don't want the anointed one. That's why many of the prophets lost their life, because they were speaking truth. And guess what? Those that are not in the truth, they don't want to hear it. That's why they wing away. That's why they come in and out and in and out. Oh, 99.9 that come to this place does likewise. You think I care? I know who I am. When you know who you are, you don't care who you are, though they are. You already know who you are. Okay. Now in Colossians chapter 1, verse 14, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sin. People be telling you, keep the commandments, keep the feast. Don't celebrate the pagan days. You think he died for all that? He ain't got nothing to do with all that trash. How about pulling up in spirit and truth? How about having the light? That's what we're called as the small remnant, to be a light unto the world. To show Satan that the Father got hands on the mess on the scene is the light. So this is why the world is watching Judah cut up from the floor up against each other, because there's no light in them. It ain't never been no light. They don't think he ain't got a remnant up in Judah, because he does. And that's the only one he's coming from. All this trash, y'all lost. Did not he lead Israel in the wilderness? Did not he lead them there? And took his remnant. Y'all don't know who you're dealing with. He ain't the one that's going to take the whole house of Israel. He didn't take them then, and he ain't going to take them now. Because they're worse than then. But yet he's going to take all the house of Israel. You all are fools believing that mess. And this is what make many people not walk up in righteous. This is what make many people not repent for their sins and their ungodly ways and their wicked and their evil. This is what make people don't. It's because they so used to listen to that trash out of the mouth of these men who talking about they want to be leaders, rulers, and kings. How you going to be all that and you in the captivity? Sit your tail down. Ephesians chapter 1. Ephesians chapter 1. I'm going to make this my last. I got another one. Ephesians chapter 1. Sad. It's a sad thing. Like he said, Deborah, meat ain't meat. That's the whole idea. You ain't the remnant, baby. Meat ain't meat, Deborah. Uh, 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 Ephesians chapter 1. Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 7. And it reads, in whom we have redemption through the blood for the forgiveness of our sin, according to the riches of his grace. These are those who are the remnant, y'all. These are those that's founded in the body of Hamashiach. We are the remnant, y'all. We're the one he told us to rest on the seventh day, but we're going to rest in his bosom. While the world sitting here thinking, oh, we work 7 days, we going to rest on the seventh. Most of these Negroes in Judah ain't even working, ain't worked in years, and ain't going to work. They ain't took care of their families, they ain't took care of their kids, they ain't done nothing but complain about everything bothering you, everybody doing and killing one another big time. Up and down. I'm going to bring you a scripture right here that a lot of y'all have lied again on the Most High Yah, as you do over and over and over. That's why they want women's mouths shut. Because they're afraid that the Father might pour out the Spirit and the anointed on these daughters, on these women, and they're going to pour out the truth, and then their test going to be revealed. And I'm here to tell you, these men that's calling themselves kings, leaders, and rulers in the house of Israel, and leaders, and you submit to me, they are fools. They're going to live a fool and die a fool. And I, Sister Deborah, the prophet, in the wilderness, it's going to be like the Father said that it shall. Okay. So here we go, Ephesians chapter 1. Verse 7, and it reads, in whom we have redemption through the blood, the forgiveness of sin, according to the riches of his grace. Not riches of these Hebrew Israelites, these Catholics, these Christians, these Muslim, Muhammad, Farrakhan, and all these others. That's not what we get it. The one who brought us into the oneness of the body of Hamashiach. We were redeemed to bring into a oneness. That's why he said, when one hurt, all hurt. That's why Sister Deborah never will have a problem with people coming and going. Ha, ha, ha. Those that are for Yah is going to be among those that are for Yah. That's how Abraham was able to, that's how Lot came out. He wasn't supposed to come out because he was no different than they were. His daughters, his wife, none of them. But because of who Abraham, you don't know who's under or who's with y'all servant that he have son that's sitting up under them, and they will come out with them because y'all already know what he has put in them to give those individuals. So that's why I have no problem with them coming and going. Supporting, no problem. But it ain't saying they don't speak on it. He ain't saying that I can't speak on it. Oh, no, no, no. Because it has said in their own instruction, he that give unto a prophet receive a prophet reward. He that give a drink into one of these receive a reward in heaven or shall be blessed. So me thinking you, no, baby, you ain't no different than these men out here in this cult with a Hebrew Israelite movement. 99.9 that comes to my page, they are caught up in the Hebrew Israelite movement thinking they are all that and something. They can't sit their tails down and be what Yah has called them to be because they too rooted in all kind of chaos, trying to be something that he did not call them to be. I will be blessed to have, you know how, oh, Father Yah, you know it too, don't you, Father? Only Father Yah know how I always say, Father, send somebody that knows it like I know it, or knows it the way you have given them, and it be food for me to eat. Oh, I desire that. But Yah tells me, Deborah, don't forget, I already created my small remnant in the kingdom. If I give you, and it could be, it could be, but he just let me know. Don't, you got a lane, baby. Get in your lane. You got a lane. Okay? So, listen to this. So when I end up in Deuteronomy 28, listen to this. He showed this. How this got in here into this message, somewhere or another, the Father want me to bring it forth. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 54. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 54. The Father want me to let you know this is the reason why the men do not cover Deuteronomy 28. This is the reason why they step in all these other verses to give them the power and authority to manipulate the minds. And that's how a lot of the prophets and the prophetesses on these devil platforms do it. They manipulate your mind with their own flesh understanding that they can break down real good for you. Oh, they break that thing down. They break it up and down. They slide it left, slide it right. But is it spirit and truth? No, it isn't. That's the difference, y'all. They on here just talking trash, and y'all eating it up. And you need to eat it up. That's your food. That's your portion. What Psalm said, Deborah, that's their portion. It is. It's your portion. Eat up while you can. Now, in Deuteronomy 28, and verse 54. I was wondering where this was going, but I think this is a part that still that y'all want me to touch because this is so heavy in this day and time. Listen to this here. In verse 54, Deuteronomy 28 and 54, it says, so that the men, wait a minute, let me see. No, 53. Let me see. No, 54. Deuteronomy 28 and 54. So that the men that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye, I mean his oneness, his mental state, shall be evil toward his brother and toward his wife of his bosom. His bosom is those that lays within him, that's close to him, up here on him. Watch this here. And toward his wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children. So the man's remnant, his own children, of his children, which he shall leave. These men have sold y'all so much trash about women getting no welfare. They getting put out of the houses because the government set it up. See, y'all shows you that they've been lying all the time. I remember when I first took a position as a chef at this one big hospital here. And I was amongst a whole bunch, I was a young one, amongst a whole bunch of the men who have been in the military. There's a lot of men that have been around, and they were also chefs. But the elderly ladies, they were chefs, but they were old chefs, barely walking, barely, making it around. But I was that young one. And these men used to always complain about the white man, the white man. The white man did this, the white man do this. This is what the white man do. This is what the white Jude had been complaining, y'all, since Genesis about somebody else. Judah is a people that never owned up nor repent. And that's where they stand today. And that's why you see them destroying big time. And this is why they want the women's mouth closed. You close your mouth. You ain't nobody. You ain't no one. These women, let me say this to you. You need to close your mouth because you are of the flesh. Go with the men and let the men speak on your behalf. Feed from their mouths because you are already of the flesh. You know how the Titanic went down and everybody went with it? Yes. All of the lies of how it came down, all of the life that was lost, guess what? Did y'all know that before that ship went out, they knew that everybody on there was going to die? Just imagine all those rich people who inherit their stuff. Yeah, this thing been going on a long time. So if you want to go down with the Titanic, and you are going down with it, whether you like it or not, because it's finished. He has his small remnant. That's another reason why he tells me it's finished. Never, it's over. My remnant is in my hand. They can't pluck them out. While y'all got y'all silly tails running around here working wicked and evil at your highest, and it's the lowest, and you just too ignorant to know it. Now, here he's saying in verse 15, and now Deuteronomy 28 and 54. So that man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother. This is why Judah killing each other. And they running around here trying to justify making a woman's fault. You see what I'm saying, y'all? Every time a man go around here killing, these men of Judah come up, oh, he this and he this and he this, or a woman did it, cause a woman, his mother raised him. You see what I'm saying? And y'all saying, see, look at him, Deborah. Look at him. They gonna always find a room to escape out. You think that they my remnant? They are not my remnant. Liars, wicked, and evil. They're taking out their brothers with this wicked and evil, Deborah. And listen to what it says. Their evil gonna be toward their brother. You know how Abel was toward Cain? Bam! Mm. Y'all dead sleep. Okay, in your sin. But watch this here. And toward the wife of his bosom. You see, he said toward the wife of his bosom. Why isn't it wives? See, y'all don't get it, do you? And bosom mean close to him. Okay, watch this here. What's this? What do you mean evil toward her? Evil toward your wife of your bosom? She's so close to you. She on your bosom, and you evil toward her. And toward the remnant of his children, his own children, which he shall leave. How did they sell y'all this thing about getting a welfare? Did you know y'all put that welfare in place because this here he knew the men were going to leave their children? See how ignorant y'all are? Y'all was ignorant yesterday as well as today. Don't come telling me how yesterday was better. The mothers of yesterday was horrible. They were more wicked than wicked. It's almost to me they got what they deserved. They watched these men rape their children, their sons, their daughters. They watch these men beat them while they drink, drug, and everybody running around here talking about yesterday, granny and mama was better. Use a lie, said the Most High God. He said that darkness of yesterday is a product of what you see today. So stop lying. Stop lying. You are not the remnant of the Most High Yah, because the remnant of the Most High Yah gonna speak spirit and truth. And they're gonna have a light in their right hand. They ain't out here to speak boldness to y'all that's loaded in flesh. Now, here he's telling you right there, and his children, which he shall leave. That's why the father let the welfare of the systems pull up for the women so that they can take care of their children. And you all lie. You all lie. And it says here in 55, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat. Because he has nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. Judah, Israel, who have left their families, destroyed their brothers with the evil. Y'all is showing you they came over here evil, y'all. They came on the ships evil and wicked. So what in the wreck behind you think is going on now? We are a product of our forefathers yesterday, outside of the remnant that y'all had in his hand. So what you see is what been seen. It's just that these lying-mouthed men rather tell y'all lies day and night and 90 days. Y'all run y'all tails to your grave, perishing, going to the lake of hell, because that's the choice you made for your own spirit to end up. Now, listen to this. And 55, I'm going to show you the difference from the woman and the man. Women, get with me here. Hear me. I'm going to show you the power of why they want a woman quiet. And I'm going to show you the difference between what he said, the evil toward the brother. Listen to this. 56, Deuteronomy 28, 56. Now, first and foremost, right here, he was not going to feed them food or give them nothing to eat. This is why warfare and warfare check came up to help the woman. This is Yah's doing. This was Yah's doing, because he knew Judah and Israel had an evil heart, evil mindset, to not to do right by their brothers, by their wife, and by their children. Y'all knew they wasn't going to do right. He already knew it. He backed it up with the welfare system so the women can have something. I'm going to mess your tail up. You want to lie on my father? I'm going to show you how y'all been lying and y'all eat up a plate of lies. And listen to this. 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the soles of her feet upon the ground for the delicacy and the tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil toward her husband. Watch this here. She's evil toward her husband of her bosom, the man that she was close to, that she lay in. Now she has an evil as well toward him. Watch this here. And toward her son and toward her daughters. Why? You all never understand that these children come from the men. You see? These are the men products that they left behind. They left these men behind, y'all. I'm going to show you how y'all wrap that thing up real good in me. Watch this here. Now, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward the sons and daughters, her daughters. 57. And toward the young one, even the babies, that comes out from between her feet. And toward her children, which she shall bear. She shall eat them for what of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thy enemies shall stretch thee in the gates. Did she leave those kids? Did she leave those kids? The man left them. So how many times have I taught y'all that? Now, here it is. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get how y'all eye is beholding every single thing that these men teaching y'all and lying to y'all about. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors. Who was the children left with? The women. They were left with the women. And women ruled over them. Who? The children. Why? Because the men left them. And all this other mess, oh my people, they which led you, talking about your men, that led you, caused you to error. Don't talk that trash. That's why the welfare system was a blessing from Yah. Because these men was going whoring everywhere they could go, even amongst their own kin, they were whoring around. I seen all that. I know all that. Y'all, a bunch of y'all just lying. My whole testimony from having to go to Atlanta because he sent me there. I heard some of the horror stories in my whole life. Children having baby by their daddy and granddaddy, by their daddy's brother. All this whole mess. I learned this, y'all, on the mission there in Atlanta, Georgia. Hearing the stories of women telling the stories. That's why I say I don't know where y'all eating from this plate of these men. Y'all should be out here trying to correct them. And talking about exalt yourself above a man. You's a fool. I'm exalted above you as a prophet apprentice in the wilderness, as a prophet ordained and predestined and foreknew before the foundation of the world. I am exalted above you. Flesh of a man. You talk like a darn fool. I'm not supposed to exalt myself. I am what he said that I am. And I am exalted above you. Take that message to the flesh. This sister strictly speaking. Okay. So here, what's beautiful about this whole thing is the Father shared with me and brought this into the message, y'all. And this is the last. He brought that in. He said, go back to Deuteronomy 28. And I was like, oh no, they tired of me in Deuteronomy 28. He said, never go back. And when I went back, he prophesied that the men would leave these children. He prophesied that the men would kill their brothers. The men would be evil toward their wives. All this mess Judah is doing in the earth today, all your Negro brothers are doing. And y'all walking around here trying to make them kings, leaders, and rulers. Look at the sickness of down. That's the sick of the sickness on the earth as a prime example. Just like TD Jakes. And y'all walking y'all tails around magnifying all these men. Talking about they men of y'all. You's a fool. These men are not the remnant of the Most High God. These men is speaking and teaching worldly and got these men following them by great numbers. Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah speaking of how he's going to destroy those that follow the men that they have made gods. So here, when he's speaking of the woman and the man, the men leave their children. They don't give them nothing to eat. They leave their children, and their evil is toward not just their wife of their bosom, of the closeness, but they are evil toward their brother. They leave their children. Now, he prophesied it here for you as a study guide, and y'all run around believing this mess about my women went on warfare. That's the best they can give y'all so that they can escape the spirit and truth of the mind. And you all have allowed these men to escape year after year after year. And then the Father looks up and said, Deborah is worse than their. I guess so. Their forefathers got away with it, and they've been getting away with it, still doing it, and it's worse up. The mother didn't leave their children. The fathers left their children. And I see where she had buried it, and she shall eat them for what of all things secretly in the siege. I don't know what that means as far as eating them. It's out of not having nothing to eat. Wherewith our enemy shall stress thee in the gates. Where the enemy shall stress thee in the gate. But where was the fathers? These seeds won the women. These were the seeds of the father. Listen, y'all don't get it. Y'all are lost with the cost and without one. You are so far lost to where I can now also hug on y'all again and again and again. It's finished. It's over. Now let me show you something that's a mystery. When you get to Deuteronomy 28 and you rest your sight on verse 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil. Can you change that eye? No, you can't. It's evil. How you gonna change that? That's one thing. Watch this here. Evil toward what? His own brethren. His own brother. That's why these men run around here killing each other and don't have. You step on my shoe, you look at me wrong, I'm killing you. It's easy for them to kill one another. You don't hear Judah talking about they the people of God, we the Hebrews, we the Jews, y'all need to sit y'all tails down. And all these silly women run around here teaching this thing about people revealing that we the Jews or we the people. You need to sit your tail down. You are not a student of the Most High God. You are not a teacher of the Most High God. You are worldly. And that's what you are setting. Strong delusion has been poured out upon you women. To believe the lie than to believe the truth. You rather speak the lie than to speak the truth. When you blame everybody else, you cover up house of Israel. You cover up the tribe of Judah. I said, wait a minute. If you can't speak spirit and truth with the light in your right hand, stand down trying to represent me. Don't use me. Now watch this here. When you see Deuteronomy 28:54, you see right here that the brother's going to have evil toward his brother. What happened when the brothers had evil toward Cain and Abel? Cain killed Abel. Now watch this here. And toward the wife of his bosom. You don't see him saying wives of his bosom. And then it says, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead. Drop down to verse 57. And toward the young women, to the young, 56, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would be adventured to set the soles of her feet upon the ground, for the delicate of the tenderness of her eyes shall see be evil toward her husband. Now, notice she's evil toward her husband and her children. Notice what it says. She's not, these children are not her remnant. Go back up. See how these men left their remnant and they have the audacity to sit here today with all these babies all over the world. All these kids that they done raped. All these little boys they done raped. All these little girls they done raped. All their children they having all over the place. They have the audacity to sit on this devil platform and tell you they represent the Most High God. And y'all stand y'all stupid tail on this devil platform with them and salute them. How my kings and leaders and rulers use a fool, use a fool, use a fool. Even in here, Deuteronomy 28, which they try to hold here. But I told you, it's the reason why I keep telling y'all there's something wrong with them. Why ain't they reading out Deuteronomy 28 in game? Why ain't they teaching it? Why ain't they preaching it? Now you know. Because they killing their brothers, like he said. They left their children. They didn't feed nothing for their children. But guess what y'all said? Deborah, this is above the children. I said, what you mean, Father? I tell them, Deborah. I said, Father, no. Oh, yes. This is above their children. This is their remnant. Their own remnant. You drop down to 56, you don't hear the word remnant among the woman because it ain't her remnant, it's his. So that's why she is evil toward him and the children that come from between her legs. Then you wrap over to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. She's going to be left with his remnant, his children, and they're going to oppress her. And they run around here talking about the women raising the sons. Women can raise a son better than you can because you ain't raised nothing but wicked and evil in their eyes. They are a product of who you were back in Deuteronomy 28. See, that's what a lot of y'all women don't understand. The product of these children go back to Deuteronomy 28. These young men, these older men, they've been leaving their children, their wives, and not feeding their children, not taking care of it. So why you see women on welfare? Y'all set that up for them to have something. Because he knew in his instructions and direction would lead them to read it and see who they really are. And they refuse and reject Deuteronomy 28. They only want a part that ridicule somebody else for them being in captivity so they can be able to run. That's why that silly woman gets on here all the time trying to make videos about, well, they said we the people. They said we're the true people. They said we the Jews. You's a fool, you're gonna live a fool and die a fool. But you're gonna learn something before you get up out of here. You're gonna learn something, even though you can't take it where you're going. People saying they this and they this and they this, and they've been wrong all the time. It's nothing good about being the house of Israel. It's nothing good about being the tribe of Judah. It's nothing good about being the true Jews. Because when you reject and profane and disrespect the kingdom where the throne of the Most High Yahweh is at, you have disrespected everything. You are not the remnant. Shalom and shalom.